This is a part of a course where we learn Godot by making a 2D game, a vampire survival clone with a scalable architecture. Press like if it's been useful. In this part, we'll finish our consumables and test them, and also create a basic theme with custom progress paths for player health and experience. We already have base consumable script as a basis for further consumables logic, where we had references to root node, body area. We connect out the body area when it enters collides with another area, and we has abstract method where we will say what to do with a certain consumable when we touch the player. So you should add two new scripts: the heal consumable, where on collision we will take the owner of the area, which should be the player, and it HP component, and increase its HP by the value. A value we will set for each consumable in the script. And same for XP consumable. We need to take the player, the XP component, and add XP, same by the value. Now let me remind you, we got the base consumable scene, where we had the sprite, area, and collision shape, but nothing set up already. So, inherit the scene, create the base under the heal folder, create base heal consumable. We need to instantiate here our heal consumable handler. And for now, we won't set here any settings for now, because it's the basis for our further heal consumables, like small, medium, big, and other types you want to have in your game. And then you instantiate this scene, not instantiate, inherit this scene and create heal small consumable. In my case, it's small, you can call it whatever you want. And now we can set the collision shape. I will use circle. And we set the value for our consumable handler, how much I want this consumable to heal our player. Also set references for root node, body area 2D, but you can set it not here, but in the base heal consumable. So all inherited scenes will already have these properties set up. So our root node, it's the root node of our scene, and body area. That's it. Same, create the XP folder, base XP consumable. It's inherited scene from base consumable, but we instantiate here XP consumable handler. Set root node, base area, and now inherit this scene to create your other types of consumables, but for XP. I got two types, small one and medium one. All the same, just different sprites. In first case, let me show you, it's teal. Rhombus in small, for the small one it's the gray one, yeah. And sets the same value property to whatever you want. Also, you may notice that our consumables doesn't have a touch script. None of them has a touch script to any of our nodes, because the pulling logic, pulling our consumable toward the player will handle the consumables magnet, the node that is inside our player's scene. And the consumable handler will handle what to do when our area collides the player. So increase the XP or increase the player's health. And we don't need any other scripts here. Player will pull it toward it, and the handler will process our consumable logic. We are ready to test our consumables, at least the pulling logic and increasing the HP or XP of our player. Under test folder, create consumables folder and consumables test scene. What we need here, instantiate the player unit scene, and we need a few consumables. You can use instantiation URI or Ctrl-Shift-A and pick your consumable scene, or in Godot you can just drop them inside your scene, and it will work same as instantiation. Any of this will work the same. So I have one XP consumable or HP consumable and two XP small and the medium one. Our player, don't forget to increase the movement speed if it's 0 under the movement component. And I guess there are no other changes needed. And now this collision is our magnet. Yeah. And when the consumable is inside, we should see as the magnet will pull it toward the player, like this. Yep, and when it collects the player, it should increase the XP, HP, and be destroyed. How we can see, did it actually work? I mean, did it actually restore our health? Well, we can test it even without the UI. Our player keeps its logic in like HP component here, and current HP is 0, let's set 1, and max HP will like 100. Yep, and our XP component will be a bit more difficult to test, but yep, we don't have any export variables to see it, but we'll test it anyway later. Let's see at least the HP component. Does it work? Well, when you launch your game, go to Remote tab, find here your player unit and the HP component. Here is our current 1 and max is 100. Okay, now let's eat our health, and it become 1.5. So yeah, it restored me like 0.5 health. It works, definitely works. Now let's create a live and XP bar to see our player current statistics. We will use approach by creating a separate theme resource. I already have tutorial about theming in Godot on the channel, you can check it out. Under assets, create new folder and name it theme, and create new resource and search for theme and call it up. This will be our base up theme, not just for our bars, but for everything. I already have a full tutorial on the channel about theming, how to create, how to customize, what options do you got. So if you need more information, go and check it out. The link will be in the description. Now we will just briefly create needed items. We need custom styles for a progress bar. Select your app trace, your theme resource. Press here to add new node. We need to search for progress bar. Here it is, and it properties. Let's make it wider. You can preview it here among all the other nodes. Here it is. And now click here, our background and fill styles. We need to rewrite them, to override to new styles. Click on the plus icon and now select style box flat. The difference is the kind of styles you want. I want to have a filling color, so style box flat is our option. And now same for the fill. Click on it. You already see our progress bar has changed. Click on it, and here we customize everything, like the color. Let's say this one will be our HP, our life. So let's pick something more like red. I guess something like this, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, like this. And I want radius, corner radius. Let's use 10 maybe. Yep. And I think that's it for now. Now we need to save it, like say what type of this progress bar it will be. When you instantiate progress bar, it could has different variations. So to make a new variation, you should press here manage items, rename it to it's our HP bar like this. And also don't forget now to move here, and we need to set it base type. What base node type? It extends the progress bar. Now it will work as should, and you see in our view here it's now again base one. Why? Because we create a new variation that's named HP bar. This one is progress bar by default, but in this styles we created is only for this variation of it. You can add variations for previews here, or you can create some test scene for it. For now we will just make our two progress bars and we will create the player viewports. So just do the same for now XP bar. It's gonna be the same, all the same steps, just I will pick different color. Oh, yep, let's go back. In the background is red. No, background should be transparent, and the fill will be red like this. And now switch to progress bar. Again, we need to rename it. It's now XP bar, space type base type progress bar, and the color. The background is transparent and the color will be bluish. Be careful, because what happened right now in my case, it switched back to HP bar. I don't know why it does it, but it just did. So be careful and watch carefully what node, what variation are you customizing right now. Okay, let's move again. Background is transparent, fill is bluish. Okay, let's test it again. XP, HP, and XP. Yeah, it's a bit different to preview hairstyles, so you could create a test scene. Let me show you briefly. In test folder, create some parse test, something like this. Create new scene for that. Here you could instantiate few progress bars. Okay, give it some size. Okay, and now under the theme property, you will see theme and type variation. You don't see our type variation because we need to apply our theme we just created. So you can apply this theme to each of your progress bars, or better, apply it just to your root node. Just it should be, or parent node, it should be also control node. Okay, now we have the theme option, and let's apply our theme. Pick our progress bar, and yeah, now we see it. And this one is XP. Yeah, they are transparent, it's fine. Let's add some value, and here we can see how they look like. I definitely did use some corner radius. I guess I did it in the wrong place in the background. Nope. So what's the problem? Corner radius. Okay, never mind, let's do it again. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yep, now I like it. And also we see these percentages. You can disable them here in show percentage in each progress bar properties. Now we don't want to set the theme for each root node in your each UI scene, because you'll have different scenes for a player viewport, game viewport, level viewport, some other viewports. So in order to make it easier, you can set this theme just for entire project. Go to project settings, search for theme, somewhere under the GUI, and here under the custom, you just need to pick your theme you just created. It will need to restart the project. Okay, and now we can disable or restore the default theme, just remove it, and everything should work just the same. Let me make a progress bar, and under it theme properties we should see variations, because our theme is now default and it's been used for all projects, and we can see our variations. Some value. Okay, it works. Cool. I added also for the background a bit more darker background to see the full bar where it starts and where it ends. Now let's make the player viewport where we will use them. Let's go to our gameplay folder and create new folder. Let's name it UI, and new folder inside it. It will be player viewport, and new scene inside it. Same player viewport path, pick user interface. So the root node will be already the control node. And here we want our viewport to have some margins, to not touch our viewport or screen borders. So add new node and find margin container. This one will give us margins, just we need to set its size by the viewport. So press here and pick all full rect, and will be extended for entire parent. Under theme overrides constants, you see for each of the sides you could set the margins. There's 0. I want margins from top and from left side. Let's go for this 10, maybe, okay, maybe not 10, maybe 15. Okay, and now new new container, VBox container. It will align all items inside it by vertical order. And here we can use progress bar 1 and 2. You can see that they take entire row. I don't want this behavior, so again at the top, let's pick this one. So they align by the left side, they don't stretch in the row. But I don't want them to be that small. So what you should do in this case, because the parent says what size they're gonna use, and you can just pick they to be shrinked or to take entire row. We pick shrinked, but we can also say the minimum size. Go to layout, and here we can set custom minimum size. Again, you can't set any default size, they will be blocked because the viewport the container, the parent container set the sizes, but minimum size always is available. And let's go for 200 and I don't know, maybe 20 by height. And under the theme, let's pick HP bar. Remove the percentage and give it some value to see it works. Yep, okay, it works. Now same for the, oh, let's rename it. Yep, it's HP bar, and the second one is XP bar. And all the same, remove percentage, go to layout, set size by X, by Y, but this one will be smaller, and go for the theme and pick XP bar and a bit of value to see how it will look like. And here is our current player viewport, just two bars, one a bit bigger and one a bit smaller. Pretty neat. Let's see how that works. Open your consumables test scene and instantiate here player viewport scene. Well, it will be the last node, so it's above all of your nodes in the scene. You can see them because the colors I use, they're partially transparent. Here we can see the clear color, and here the black is above. Well, we'll set up the player viewport and all the other logic properly in the next part, but for now it's gonna be fine for our test. The only thing you maybe want to move them to see them better, but again, doesn't matter too much. And now, in order to see when our player consume any of this, to update the values in the bars, go to dev app init node. We have to initialize our logic and add at the ready function at the bottom before initialize the mid new block. Name it TMP because it's temporarily, it's just for the current small test. Again, we will remove it in the next parts and make the proper logic. For now, we want just to see they works. So get the HP and XP bars references and set their value to 0.1 or maybe to 0. I don't do that in the editor to see where they are. I like to see the colors to understand where and what nodes. So that's why I don't set here them to 0. We will make it in our initialize logic. And then again, get our player unit reference HP and connect to the change signal. We need the core HP to set to our HP bar value. And same, copy this, just change, get the XP component, XP change signal, and set the current XP to the XP bar value. That's it. Let's see how it works. You see they become empty because I set to 0.1. You could use 0, but it's too small to see. And now when I consume some XP, here it grows a bit. Again, some HP and again XP. Yeah, that works. Okay.